Welcome back, folks. Game number 1 in a brand new best of 5. It's the elimination series. And one of these guys is about to sit down out of the tournament. $2,000 bare minimum is what we're offering for prizing, but of course we're hoping to see that go way higher. Talk about that more in a moment. For now, though, the bottom right, playing for Storm Gaming, it's the Blue Terran, Gumiho.
In the top left is the red Zerg. He is Splice Solar.
Now, I said it in the lobby, I'm just going to say it for stream. I really, like, after that first game, the first series today of TY and Solar, I really didn't think it was going to get better than that. Like, TY playing so impressive, so good, and so cool. And then Gumiho does that last game. And even though he lost, I just loved the execution. I loved the thought process. I loved everything about what he did.
I love the idea. You know, and trying to copy Gumiho's ideas is fun, but at the end of the day, it is an idea, and execution is still very important. And how to say this in a politically correct way, the current trend of things is still important. TVP is going to be a hard matchup, no matter how ingenious you think your build is. So
I see why I should be political with that. So as I mentioned, speaking of the prize money, guys, exclamation mark Matcherino in chat. Type it, use the code. I want every single one of those codes used up so we can request more from Matcherino, because this tournament's offering a lot of extra prize money. All we got to do is go claim it. Now, of course, while Matcherino's been one of the partners for BTSL through the entirety of 2017, again, that reminder that this wouldn't be possible without Twitch. But there's the sponsor shoutouts. Overdone with shilling through the roof. But, yeah. Also, quick reminder that if you do want to put money towards the prize pool, do not donate to the channel. Currently, any channel donations are just going towards my mom's cancer fund. So, Matcherino for players, channel for charity, I guess. Well, it's not charity, it's a charity case, I guess.
Charity case does not sound good.
Well, cancer doesn't sound good either.
No, like, there's something about that phrase that just... Why?
I guess because it gets used in a derogatory way probably more often than like a real way, like...
I guess so. But like the word charity doesn't, so it's weird.
A little bit of micro out of Gumiho. Causing some chaos to these Zerglings, but now that the Queen's out, Mama Queen's able to protect everybody.
Mama Queen. So you brought up Mech and how Solar hasn't been taking on Mech too well against TY. Decently, but ultimately losing. Gumiho is a Terran Mech master, but can be different styles. TY is even more so turtly and, you know, SCV production-y than Gumiho has been. Gumiho a little more battle-oriented, very aggressive type of mech. So I might be doing better against Gumiho's playstyle if he goes mech. Because then that's another question, is that what TY is doing it every single time, Gumiho, he doesn't. He sometimes goes bio. Dim! Called it.
Alright. Also, real quick, in good news, please. Looks like we have found a replacement for Innovation for his group on, I think it's Friday? Can't remember if it's tomorrow or if it's Friday, but Ryung will be taking a spot. It's good to hear.
Well, that's cool, but sad that Innovation is like, I don't know, forgoing all commitments.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just taking the season off, it just would have been nice. Like, hey, I know I committed to your tournament, but yeah, I can't play anymore.
Yeah. He was honestly looking depressed with the state of TVP and the state of Terran. Maybe he's secretly training as Protoss.
Maybe. Real quick note on why Ryung was invited to over specifically anybody else, because it is based off of points and availability. We've just gone down this list, and a lot of Korean players. It's sad, actually, looking at that list of points. You had Leenock, who was like top 15 or something, but he's not really playing anymore. And a lot of these other guys who they played a lot at the start of the year, they got wins at the start of the year, so they had a lot of points in the year-end list, but they're not really either playing StarCraft or they are on break officially.
Yep. It's the holidays. It is off-season.
Beyond taking a break from StarCraft to go live his weeb dreams in Korea. If you guys haven't, or in Japan,
I saw that.
If you haven't seen the tweets he's been putting out, they are hilarious. I love it. He's matching like anime posters scene for scene.
Yeah, he's definitely weeaboo. I want to go back to Japan, but I'm not gonna do that. Are my favorite J-drama spots.
I think that Japan and weirdly Italy are the two places I would like to go at one point in my life.
Why Italy?
because Italian women are so freaking gorgeous, Zombie Grub. Oh my god.
Wait, I thought you wanted to go to Australia for the woman.
If I could find an Italian woman who had an Australian accent, oh my god. No, actually,
I never quite... Yeah, okay,
the jokes about Italy aside, really because I was watching season 2 Master of None, and the first couple episodes take place in Italy, and it looks so interesting.
Well, that's cool. It does look interesting. I want to go to Rome specifically. So that's good. That's fun. Anyways, we had Bio as an opener, but more importantly, perhaps it was a 3cc, so really powering up here with a later push ultimately, but stronger one come around 8 or 9 minutes. Well, 9 or 10 minutes. However long it takes to get to 2-2. And Solar is, I guess, finally able to play perhaps his elements, which is Ling Bane, Ling Hydra.
By the way, this combination of your emote and the little weeaboo girl emote, Hard Revenge is spamming, is so adorable. Oh my god. With these double drops heading out are going to be a bit of a problem. These maybe aren't so adorable. These are going to actually cause a lot of damage if Solar's out of position, but it's got a lot of banelings, granted without speed. I think dealing with this shouldn't be out of the question, but for Gumio too, I don't know there's a lot more in store here other than maybe picking off a queen and getting some creep tumors. In fact, he's going to pick off several queens. That's Stim. Solar not paying attention. 1, 2, and 3. No, almost 3.
Almost 3. Well, that was really nice. Solar was off of creep, expecting it to creep forward, right? That was just perfect timing from Gumiho. The loss of Queen's not too bad. It's better than losing drones still. And he still has the creep tumors alive and able to spread. Picks up real quick like. Another drop to the left side. I mean, Gumiho has got to keep pressure up while he gets to a higher tank out, while he waits for those upgrades. Otherwise, he's just letting Solar get away with way too much.
Healing up, no problem. But this is a big distraction for us, actually. Picks off another queen.
Ooh.
Oh, but he needs a lot of banelings. That ended up being not so hot. He did a good job dodging them earlier, but now there's no force on the right side to distract him. Gumiho's not going to get away with too much on the left side.
Yeah.
In fact, he might be better off knocking down those rocks just so he can have that cover, but not going to do that. Drops in the main. A couple of Zerglings waiting for him. He could actually take these on.
There were a couple more and a couple of banelings too. So I have to pick up again. He grabbed...
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of forgot that that ledge was small enough you could drop on, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, he continued harassment here is annoying, so I can't do anything until those Hydras pop out, but the creep tumor wasn't even actually killed. Oh, there's no Hydra then. Never mind about the Hydras. He's going straight up into Ultras. But the live creep tumor is still alive, which is kind of funny. So ultimately not doing too much there.
Oh, the one that was over here, yeah.
Yeah, I need to spread that back and then forward again. Oh, Gumi adds on 2 factories. Already has a 4th CC almost done. He could hit with 2-2. In fact, maybe he should even, with that pressure, as 6 his 4th base. But he could also just, triple produce tanks and then push his Ultras. Pop out.
Yeah, the concern here is while Ultras are perhaps on deck, maybe even a Greater Spire depending, it's all far out. So Gumio's going to have a lot of time before he has to worry about that, which will give him time to react to exactly what he needs to do. I hope, by the way, that these extra factories are anticipation. Like, I want to see Drilling Claws come down. I want to see him prepared to do carpet bombing TY style.
Yeah, you wish. It would be a cool response to see, but... And I don't even know if we're going to see Broodlords, He's always really going to have to react quite quickly and with Ultras, but not that many of them, and not with chitinous plating. So I feel like a base should go down if Gumio just finally pushes forward.
So awkward in the middle, because right now we got Lings dropping in the main. They don't have Adrenal Glands just yet, but they got 2-2. And then that's Banelings coming over this base, which is way oversaturated. Oh, thank God Gumio notices. Quick reactions. Ooh.
Oh, no. Oh, but noticing that, he does not have his arm correctly placed at all, and it just gets utterly destroyed off of creep. But Gumiho didn't have a couple tank siege. His Marines were never split. He was totally distracted, loses all momentum, and now Solar can successfully get to Ultras.
That being said, though, Solar also just gave away everything with his attack. All the Banelings gone, meaning the Marines can start pushing back. Planetary's done, but not repaired. Oh no!
No!
We saw this happen last series too, but versus Protoss, I figured you're saying screw it because you know it's going to go down. You could totally save that versus Lings.
That's terrible. This is a terrible decision for Gumiho, which was originally a fine one. Even if he didn't manage to kill a base, defensively 4 bases, going on a 5, he would have been fine. But now he's back to just 3.
He's pumping those tanks out from scratch too, having lost the ones he had accrued. Having to burn a scan on that tumor he had missed earlier. Oh, it feels bad, man. At least there's a depot wall over here, but Solar's not worried about the wall. He's just going to keep going over. He's going to keep dropping. Scouting the timing of the Ultralisk. You know, while this goes on, give me a quick look at the worker kills, guys. No one's really killed workers this game. So all he's really done is trim the hedges. He's been cleaning up some of the creep and not really hitting Solar where it hurts.
Nah, he hasn't. Solar also has, I think, enough time to get a Broodlords. Corruptors could be made as soon as he lets go of a little bit of supply, and I don't think Gumiho can respond to that.
Kind of Charlie question out of Red Ain in chat says, it's a TvZ, how can we complain about Protoss? Oh, easily, because this is the losers match and the Protoss sent the players here. Right? There you go. I got you. Big attack to the south, though. This is not a planetary. He's going to have to lift. Tanks are setting up. He can't give up. Oh, blinding clouds! What a deny!
No.
Ultra's right on top of this, and that's going to be it for Gumiho. There's no way to recover from that.
Oh my god, that blinding cloud is brutal. GG.
GG. Solar taking game number 1. Oh boy, it's finals time. Imperator 001, thank you for that new sub. Coming here just at the end of the break. We hop into it. And at the top left for the second time, we have this match happening. It's the Red Zerg splices Solar.
In the bottom right has the blue Terran. He is splices TY.
Oh, and he's doing the funky wall off again.
Funky. Yeah, seems to be a Ascension to Ire thing for him. You can do it on other maps. It's not really stopping you. Just
I mean, you could literally do it on any map.
I was gonna say Neon Square might be a bit too big of a wall off at the front, but and also there's 2 wall offs.
Also, we're gonna restart the call real quick because this has been cutting out a little bit recently. So give us just a moment, guys. Hopefully that'll be a little bit better for everybody.
Yeah.
But Dragon Rage 210, thank you for another sub coming in here. We are at 1,518 subscribers, thanks to you beautiful bastards. Also, new emote slot unlocked, which after the stream's done, I'm gonna go get to work on making. I think I'm gonna go with the raid emote. A lot of people were yaying that. I think I only saw like 2 nays. I still have to think of one because I don't want to keep Ace as an actual emote, but people are saying wub and other things. Maybe we'll make some Mimi map intro ones, but for now, I definitely think having an Ace 3 for when we go base raid people be pretty fun. Then I don't have to think of clever things to type, and we could just spam emotes. Hey. You okay? You're just gonna... Okay, in fairness, your face was moved from an emote before we got this one unlocked, and that was just put it as the placeholder.
Oh no, I wasn't complaining about my emotes being gone. I was literally complaining about that emote leaving.
Oh. I thought you meant like, great, we're gonna use your face, but this stupid one goes to replace it.
No. Anyways. Regular opener despite the, irregular location of the wall off. And you usually want to wall off your main anyways, just as the time goes on, the game goes on. You're going to want to have 2 wall offs in case Lings run by or roaches, whatever. But TY was doing nothing but mech last time. Probably going to do it again.
There were some people really confused about format for this, so let me lay it down for you folks. This is a group stage where 2 people advance, 2 out of the 4. We're playing a double elimination set to see who that is, so there's no actual finals match to be played. This is the last match played today. The winner of this will advance alongside Stats, and there's no need for Stats or TY to play against each other, or Stats or Solar to play against each other. Zergling's being a little annoying. For TY, of course, we've seen plenty of mech builds and a lot of cool things out of him in the first series today. All things Solar did struggle with a bit, but we saw him start using Swarm Hosts and make the right moves. We'll see if it's better this time around. At least he's not going to have to worry about ghosts and snipes.
Yeah. Hellions actually dip into the main base. A lot of drones stacked up, but only 2 Hellions left.
Yeah, Solar tries to do the thing where you block them, and he almost does this exactly correctly. Still loses about 6 workers for it. But most notably, again, it's rarely the actual worker kills that matter most. It's that time lost mining. Ooh, I love that sound. We don't hear that sound enough. $5 from Fluffy Zergling saying, "Want to hear a pizza joke? Never mind, it's too cheesy." Fluffy Zergling, you want to hear a joke about a broken pencil? Never mind, just like that joke, it's pointless.
A broken pencil isn't that pointless, though. Depends when you broke it.
Look. I don't know a lot of people who go to snap a pencil in half. I think most of the time you're writing with a pencil, you over sharpened it, and the thing breaks at the end, okay?
Yeah, I guess that, you know, most of the time that's true.
That cloak and uncloak, that was really costly, actually. He's almost out of energy in the Banshee already.
Well, in a weird way, it doesn't matter. There was a Spore Crawler. He wasn't getting too far forward with this. And the lair's almost done, too, so the Overseer would have been made promptly. This Banshee is now just a patrol unit. I was going to say that was a fairly quick lair, and there's no evolution being added on. Instead, he adds on a Nidus Worm. He's trying to end things nice and early and have to deal with Terran TY mech bullshit.
Well, I think it's a really...
care of it here and now.
It's a really good move, but there's going to be tanks out for this. By the time the Nidus Worm's up, as long as TY sees this coming, and he should, he's got full vision of his base, repositioning and dealing with it shouldn't be a problem. Get the Hellbats on the surround, get the tanks in position. And of course, if this ends up being the all-in version of the Nidus Worm, that means there's no queens left at home. Looks to be the case. That Banshee might then find some more work. In fact, a second Banshee in the main, while the other one's just kind of chilling for the time being. But that Nidus Worm's not coming inside the base. It's going outside.
Okay. Well, of course, having to break through the wall adds that little bit of extra time that sometimes can be life or death difference for a Terran player. Okay.
He's pulling the tanks back a little bit. He doesn't want them to reach over through the wall. It's kind of a smart move. A lot of transfuses, though. As good as tanks are, they're not going to blow these queens away. This was not made to an Overseer. If the Banshee comes home, she could really seal the deal since she's got no health on the other side of the field. Very little chance of getting much done. I like the Hellions running by this, too. I think that's really smart. Because it's not, he knows there's not going to be a lot. If there is anything as a queen, maybe it's 2 roaches, or he forces everything to fall back home. But trying to bait these into the tank fire. TY's handling this very well.
So he did this in game number 1 of their last series on like Catalyst or whatever, right? But that felt like an awful desperate attempt because he'd taken so much early game damage. This one, there wasn't much early game damage. He's taking more damage here now. And it was a decisive, just, this is what he wanted to do. The entire build set up for this. When does it actually become effective? I mean, is denying the third base for this long really worth it?
I think there's a chance that TY maybe plays greedy and gets caught off guard by this. There are certainly situations where you see 2 Banshees and don't think two tanks back at home. Maybe 1.
I guess, but it's not like TY was playing that greedy. I can't really see a greedier build. He went double armory. He went, triple CC. I guess he got a second factory kind of fast, but...
Yo,
oh, well.
It's not...
What?
It's not good manners or bad manners or anything. I just love that he dropped all the mules right underneath the Overlord. Like, this is how much I don't care about your Nidus Worm. Look at me.
Well, the third base was denied for, 30 seconds to a minute, and that's considerable. Creep Spirit is also going to be a pain to clean up. In fact, he misses an awful lot of them. Cool move with the Hellion. Cool stuff, man, but still misses a Creep Tumor. Oh, bother.
Can't be that cool if they're shooting with fire, Zombie Grub.
Yeah.
These Hellions are not down here, but the tanks are, so Lings get blown away pretty quickly.
So far, not a great game from Solar. The Roaches were not, I think, impressive. Denial of the third base or not. And no Ling attacks. In fact, Solar's the one that's taking damage, losing however many drones.
By the way, we got 100 bits coming from General Butt Naked. I like it. I don't like being butt naked, but I like you. Have Twitch money. Thanks for the entertainment. $2 coming in just now from G4 Veterans. Zombie Grub, can you please answer? It's very important. What are your thoughts on wooden spoons? Oh, can I give my thoughts? What you think of yours?
They're
Fuck
good for
wooden
using in
spoons.
rice. Oh,
No,
okay.
my mom would spank me with those things growing up, man. I hated wooden spoons. It only finally stopped when it broke off on my butt one time. We broke the spoon and didn't have another.
That's pretty messed up.
Discipline.
First of all, that's messed up. Second of all, you're supposed to use wooden spoons when you handle rice. So that's about the only time I've ever used a wooden spoon. Those are my thoughts.
There you go.
Yep.
Well answered. I hate wooden spoons to this day that I literally don't have any. They're just plastic. Plastic
Yeah.
and
Well,
metal.
I've never had small wooden spoons. These are always like, you know, serving spoons or like dish spoons. But anyways, this is not a real push. There's like 4 tanks in the middle of the map. He's rallying back at home and expanding.
That did a significant amount of damage to the Hydras and Roaches that pushed out. Part of that was the Banshees, but also the Vikings clearing out the Overlords. I mean, there's nothing to see said Banshees. Overseers, Overlords, same difference.
What you meant. 2-2 is going to finish with Smart Servos, and Solar has a pretty basic Zerg army. Basic, like pumpkin. It's
5
Roach Hydra with
base.
3 Vipers.
5 basic.
5 basic. Well, TY is also 5 basic.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, TY is never
He's on
basic.
6, you fool. Learn to count.
Yeah, well, that's not actually mining, is it? It's not even helpful.
A base doesn't have to have minerals. You can have a mined out base and it's still a base, Zombie Grub.
Shit, now I'm really thinking of what constitutes a base.
And Ace 1 in chat, that's what. Hey. Smart Servo's not dead yet, but doesn't really need it. Maybe for the Vikings to land, that'll be really effective against the Vipers, but he's continuing to push it. This is a little bit risky. He's got watchtower control. He's got some good tanks, but he is getting really overextended. In fact, all the Hellions are going to go for the drone line. These are Blue Flame too. If any drones survive, I'll be shocked.
I would say this isn't worth it if it wasn't for the fact TY is on 5 or 6 bases, from your point of view. They can absolutely remake Hellions super quickly too. Like, he is totally fine to do that. He's not even necessary for Swarm Host. The Swarm was never built, so Hellions really can just be used and abused and then remade.
Actually, that's a good point. I kind of forgot about this, not really noticing with the pacing of the game, but there are no Swarm Hosts, and maybe Solar just found them ineffective the last time they played. I mean, I really wasn't a big fan of the way he was handling them. He was doing some weird micro, right, where you just walk them over, but anyways, all that aside, Blinding Clouds do come down. They land top of the tanks, but the Vipers are going to go down to the Vikings, so this still kind of is okay for TY, just removing the Vipers alone.
Yeah, and so many tanks survive. Again, a couple that were outside, just outside the Blinding Cloud, and then so many of their tanks reinforcing. There was another attempt at a base trade, almost like their last game played, I suppose, but tanks on the high ground are going to be enough.
Yo, these Banshees have been around all game, by the way. I'm loving the way he's using this still here in the late game. Vikings land to be the fodder for the tanks, and while Hydras might rush to come back home, they can't take on this army. There's not going to be Blinding Clouds. He denies +2. Oh, so you call all the Overlords. Not some, but all.
Yes.
Oh, the move
Give me a
command 2.
style.
The miss rally. Oh, no, it's costing Solar everything.
Solar's trying to kill TY's 5th base, but it's a planetary, and he is not successful, not at all, losing all the Hydras to the Blue Flame Hellions, and this is going to be it.
You know
Solar might not be below 100 supply yet, but he doesn't have anything to look for. GG.
Those awkward move command units were totally go back, folks. Sorry for that abrupt break, but we are a little more refreshed and good to go. It's map number 2 in the best of 5 finals of the group. Finals means last thing playing today. Spawning to the upper left, we have the red Terran player. It's Splices TY.
The top right, as the blue Zerg, it is Splices Solar.
I do feel a little bad. Despite how exhausted we may be, these guys are playing super heckin' late over in Korea.
Heckin' late. Yeah, it's like 2 a.m.
But it's been a long, grueling group. I think the thing is, I would feel a little bit more, I guess, guilty about making them play so much so long. But yo, 2 cool things. First off, it's a $2,000 year-end finals, all right? Lots on the line for this. But secondly, TY, he puts his first depot over here. I kind of like this, but at the same time, does this really protect you? If Solar were to, if he was going for a rush, just goes down through the middle of the map, for example.
It is a significant time difference between avenues here, because there's three, well, technically four avenues on this map, I guess. The top U, the middle bridge, the middle island, or whatever you want to say it is, and then I guess the actual boardwalk on the very bottom side. And all of them are deceptively long. The U makes that so long. The middle of the map takes so long to get around the pools of water that it has. It's just a really big map in general, so I think it is. I think it is enough. Now, if Solar was going for like a Roach Ravager bust, he would just tear down that Supply Depot, but if it was just the early Lings, Command Center finish anyways, because he didn't just go for a Supply Depot wall off, he also went for a Command Center first. Very fast.
I still just see this map as a very angry bear with jowls, and I can't not see it. Every time we start talking about the length of the base, it's like, oh, it's the bridge of the nose, and then there's the nose.
Yeah. Those things have to go through this portion of the map. I guess that this is even faster. The nose is even faster than the lips or whatever. Wait, what the hell is the one in the middle?
This is the bridge of the nose. Oh my god, it's literally a bridge. It's the bridge of the nose! Oh my god! Okay.
I guess that's faster than going through the bridge of the nose. There we go. And the Overlord sees everything's done anyways. There's nothing these Lings can do. And the Reaper will be able to get to scout. No problem.
If you are high, I am not high. If you can't see this bear, you are blind. Look at the minimap, guys. Eyes, nose, ears. Come on. Wake up, sheeple.
Ah, the Reaper came back perfectly timed.
Yeah, it's not going to stop a cancel or anything. I mean, these Lings are just going to be kind of annoying, but at the same time, he's now confirmed that the depots were down. The Overlord actually didn't see that earlier.
Pretty fast evolution chamber. Let's see if Solar plans for something dangerous with this. And Overlord speed. Double starport. Whoa. Going for the Banshee build here.
Ooh. Okay, this is really cool. We've touched base on the way this is handled. I want to make this perfectly clear for anyone who's not seen this. You haven't been graced with Innovation's presence or something. When you do this and you do it without Hyperflight rotors, this is a garbage man build. But if you do the Hyperflight rotors, you get this done correctly, this actually ends up being a really scary, very good build. But I love the Viking coming out first. He's hidden the second starport at the back of the base, so Solar has no idea. Oh. Okay, that startled me. He's using the Korean announcer, I guess. Anyways, in the back of the base, so nothing here. Everything in the front looks normal. This looks natural. This looks like a single Banshee opener.
Very deceptive. The entire purpose of this build is to start off as a deception build. Put the starport in the back, and then you get the surprise Banshees. But even if it isn't deceptive, even if they do scout it, there is a solid chance it does damage. But this Queen Ling harassment, as he is not following up with more Lings, is going to be tricky.
Wrong side of his wall. Gonna get the depot up? Nope.
Arguably doesn't have to, I suppose. Now he does. Oh well.
Okay, this is problem. Some SCVs are pulled. Solar cut some workers to make this happen, but not a whole hell of a lot. He's going back to droning behind this too. Vikings landed on the ground. He's looking for a way to stabilize. TY's not taking that much damage from this yet, but it's starting to get there.
How did this I don't know how that Cyclone got through. This Cyclone's not being target fired. Getting a lot more damage than that should have.
Oh no, Russian caster!
No!
Whoa, look at that Queen. Look at that Queen. Oh,
it's Solar.
Huh?
But Sin's really Sin's really happy.
Where you sweating, bro? For those who don't know, our Russian caster friend, nice and kind as he is, he has had some issues with lag before, and he's been told pretty exclusively, like, if you lag ever, you're out for good. So good old Tank TV joining us too.
Oh, this is such an awkward time to have to restart and recover from game.
Hang on, I wonder, can I do this? Sin, were you... Oh, damn it. I was going to try and fake Emil's name. It didn't work. All right. All right, guys. Good luck, TY. Good luck, Solar. This is still a recoverable spot for TY, and it's a desperate situation for Solar because he really has to win with this, but I don't think he can. He did kill 12 SCVs though, so it lifted the natural. I mean, damage was done. It's the question of was it enough damage? And I think because TY's doing... Wait. Okay, he did see the second starport. I'm like, did he not see the second starport through all this? Because TY's doing double starport, like this... Any other build, I think he immediately counters and wins, but because of this weird harassment-oriented build, he doesn't have like a kill move in him, you know?
I don't know. With a 1-1-1, you're always going to be kind of restricted if you can really go for a push. So advantages or not, but the Overlord gets back in. I don't know if he has like the peace of mind to realize, hey, that Cloak and Hyperflight Rotors had not started. I never saw the Tech Lab moving. Because if he thinks that there is Cloak or that they will be speedy, then that could draw out a more, you know, defensive setup that Solar doesn't actually need. A couple of Spore Crawlers would probably do well enough with, of course, more Queens. He did just lose all of them.
I can understand forgoing Hyperflight Rotors, but to not get Cloak, this is really surprising to me.
Yeah, I think he's going for numbers over technology, which might work. You know, you have 4 Banshees instead of 3 Banshees with Cloak. That snipes Queens no matter what. Whereas if there's a Spore Crawler, maybe 3 don't, even with Cloak. So kind of see that as his thought process. Is it the correct one? I don't even know, but it might be. He's moving everything across the map.
All things considered, Banshees with or without Cloak, they are a lot of damage. And if the Queens are focusing them, then they're not focusing the Hellions, but oh me oh my. Maybe TY has been forced into an all-in. One way or the other, SCVs get caught by those Zerglings. A lot of transfuses going into these Queens, but they are focusing on the Banshees, so the Hellbats get right up in their face. But this is everything for Solar at home, too. If he loses this front line, I don't think he recovers himself. 13 Roaches are on deck. Those Banshees living is going to be so critical. Oh, losing another one, though.
Yeah, there's two Queens left alive. 3 Queens left alive, so the Banshee will, in fact, go down. A lot of damage was dealt, but TY's still going to tap out.
All right, game 3, things tied up 1 apiece. Best of 5 finals of the group. Thank you guys for joining in today. If you haven't checked out the Matcherino, please consider doing so. Type ! Matcherino in chat. And of course, over the next couple days, you'll see that beefed up real good. Spawning here to the top right, we have the red Zerg player, Solar.
In the bottom left is the blue Terran, he is TY.
Also, I guess we have a brief moment here for the openings. Quick reminder that we do have BTSL all week this week, and tomorrow's going to be no exception. It'll be Zombie taking a break, but I'll still be here with my good buddy Maynard, and that group, well, don't worry guys, there's no Protoss to ruin dreams there. It's Cure, Rogue, Keen, and Sue. Should be some pretty good games. And then Zombie will be back for Group D, which will be no longer Innovation, but Ryung, Alive, Billowy, and Lucira.
Billowy wins. Just kidding.
I would love, you know, I root for Sue a lot, but actually I would love to see Cure and Rogue make it through the group tomorrow.
Nah, it's supposed to get second place.
You know what? Everyone sees that as a curse, right? But if you look at it in the more positive light, it's a guaranteed second place. So you're like, okay, I don't have to actually... It's like, you know the timing of your own death, so you can do whatever you want up to that point. You can live life a little more frivolously and crazy. You don't have to be scared of dying from skydiving if you know you're going to die from a dog attack 10 years from now.
It doesn't stop you from being put in a coma because of a skydiving accident.
Okay, thanks, classic genie with a twist. This isn't a wish.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? I can guarantee you that his opponent in the finals always looks on the bright side of it. They're like, I'm facing Sue in the finals, guaranteed first place.
Well, whoever, whatever, I just hope you guys can make sure to join us for it, because tomorrow should be a lot of fun, and I always enjoy casting with my good buddy Maynard, who got a brand new mic recently. I don't know if you caught his stream, but he's rocking the Shure SM7B now.
Oh, that's awesome. I have this weird problem with Twitch where a couple of my streams, and Maynard has recently been added to this list, the sound won't work on my stereo speakers. They'll only work on my headset. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I will literally open up a different Twitch channel with no settings different, and that will have music, and then Maynard's won't. It happened with Total Biscuit's channel at first, so I couldn't watch Shoutcraft comfortably. and it's like spreading. It's a plague.
I wonder what causes that. That is weird.
Yeah, I wonder as well. And there's not really. I mean, eventually, I guess I'll try and contact someone at Twitch about it, but.
Well,
yeah.
With their recent responses to things, I wouldn't get your hopes up, man. I do love Twitch, and they sponsor this tournament, but some things, like the sub dropping, Marcos, I know has been really adamant. He's been on Twitter nonstop trying to get this sorted. You can't like resub to channels, like yours, for example.
Yeah, that sucked as well. Yeah, Twitch is having some problems. People saying, you know, I've tried everything, guys. You're not gonna have something unless you've literally had this issue. So don't bother trying to suggest shit.
If you've been hiding information, how dare you? All right, Hellion attack. Trying to help at. It's got a couple Marines with it. This is that really early one again. We actually saw this earlier today too, so it doesn't come with a medevac. It's a little bit rough around the edges, so to speak, but we saw this snowball because there was less queens, and these don't have transfuses. But Solar's taking a long time to engage, and this hatchery is like half dead. He can't hold off for much longer.
Well, he doesn't want to go in with 10 lings, then have to make 10 more lings, then make 10 more lings. It is wiser to go in with as many lings as possible right off the bat with the queens.
That first shot from the Hellbats was fantastic. Clears out a lot of the Zerglings. Hatchery doesn't die, but damn, that's low. A drop later could pick that off.
It is a bit worrying, but the drop probably will be coming for minutes, like 4 or 5 minutes. Not even a drop, right? He's going mech again.
I like it. Alright, well, he transforms back into Hellions. I guess he's gonna just back away for the time being. He did force out a lot of Zerglings and Queens and a Spine Crawler. I mean, he didn't lose anything, and it did damage, so technically worth?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe even more worth than last time he showed it. Overlord is gonna die. You don't need the barracks. You're going mech. A nice little pick off there.
The barracks is the Overlord.
Natural, I guess.
Oh, this will lead into double upgrades, so not just the single one. That was a problem, if you guys remember. A lot of +2s with no armor. Sometimes be a little bit difficult for the mech player, but... Hellions deal with this. Could have been much, much worse, frankly, but same time, simultaneously, he runs across the map. Despite there being a Spine Crawlers and Roaches, he manages to find some drone kills. Gonna give a 5, 6, 7. Not amazing, but pretty good.
Okay, kind of worth the Hellions. Second armor's with a finish. He has just gone into tank production. No Quake double Thor drop, something like that. Which means he doesn't have a starport. That would be kind of difficult to do. Well, so there really won't be much aggression besides those Hellion run bys.
Yes, Zombie, that would truly be impressive if you could do that without a starport.
I think so.
Just what you do is you hook him on the barracks, lift up the barracks, float the barracks.
Why can't you do that?
You know what? Actually, because when they get picked up by medevacs, they transform into these like square-shaped cargos, right? Like, yeah. Why can't you just like attach them to the side like a tech lab?
Why can't you put a tank on top of a barracks and then float the barracks and shoot from above?
47 is. Are you in chat? Are you ready for this next level meme? I'm waiting for the art, man. Just like a tank floating above. Oh my god!
The only response is a roach totem pole. It all works out.
You're my favorite.
I figured it out.
It took 3 years, but it finally came full circle.
Yeah.
All right. Roaches and Ravages, though, are in quite big numbers. Jokes aside for the moment, there's an okay tank count for TY, but I feel like if Solar handles this correctly, you take out one of the tanks pretty quickly with the Corrosive Biles, you collapse on the following 3. I actually like this secondary wall that TY is starting, but we'll see if it's coming a little bit too late. First round of Roaches gets obliterated, though he doesn't even get close enough to throw the Corrosive Biles on top of the tanks. In fact, he misses. I don't know what he's aiming at. Solar with a misclick. Oh my god, he loses everything for one tank.
He's regressed back to 2016 Solar.
I was just thinking that. GG. If you guys don't know, there's a time I love Solar, so I hate telling this story, but half-hour mark, having a great time casting these games, but this might be the last one today. Spawning to the lower right, he's on his last life, looking to represent Splice just a little more. It's Solar.
In the top left is the blue Terran. He is TY.
Saffron, by the way, hit us up with a 14-month resub. Sorry, I don't know if we got that or not. It says 14 months. Boys, that's longer than I've been at the job I just quit. Oh, well, I hope you could still sub after quitting your job. Thank you for the resub, man.
Maybe he saved up a bunch.
Just like have a vacation.
Yeah. Apparently some people, that is actually their lives. They'll work for like 8 out of 12 months, and then for 4 months they'll go backpacking.
What was that movie with Seth Rogen where you get knocked up, right? And his story in that is like he won a bunch of money in like a settlement 18 years ago, and he's been riding off that. And I think like, how? Like
he was living with like 6 other people.
I guess that's true, but I hear stories of that from people too, where it's like, because like whether you work 8 months, save up, and then take an 8-month vacation and then work again after or not, it's just like that's such a scary budget to have to stay. You gotta be so strict with that budget.
I guess I'm not as scared or like unbelieving that works. You know, doing what we do. Any freelancer, you know, has to be worried about month-to-month payment and income and budget appropriately. So they just do it in a longer-term scale, I guess.
J2 Digital has clearly seen the movie. He says he eats a lot of spaghetti. Yeah.
But who buys the weed, right? Like, they're all a bunch of stoners. Someone in that house has to be making okay amount of money.
And they're too high to notice that everyone else is stealing it.
Stealing it?
Or they're really generous and just share it with everybody.
I thought they're just generous. I thought they're just all friends. Yeah, that was an okay movie. That's like actually my definition of an okay movie.
What was the name of the actress? She's so beautiful. I have like Catherine Heigl or whatever. Yeah, I had the biggest crush on her for the longest time. I saw her. Okay, when I was young, I don't know if you ever saw. Did you see that movie like A Shooting Star or whatever with her? It's like it's like old school Disney movie, right? Biggest crush on her since that movie, and I saw it like 10 years ago or something.
Wow. Well, everyone knows her from the Doctor series that she was booted off from. Apparently,
Grey's Anatomy or something.
Yes, exactly. She's really hard to work with, and that's why she hasn't like. She was supposed to be one of the next mainstream stars, and then wasn't because she's a meanie apparently.
Whatever happened to Brendan Fraser?
That is also still. I think someone has explained what happened to him, and it's not as interesting as you would think.
Yeah, it's like once every 3 months he's on the front page of Reddit where someone asks whatever happened to Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of like Alicia Silverstone, you know, what happened to her? Oh, she got crazy. Oh no, wait, that was someone else.
No, she was clueless.
She was crazy, if I'm remembering the right story here.
No, she was clueless.
I get your joke. I get it.
She was clueless.
No, but it's different.
Okay.
Different.
She's just having a blast from the past, you know?
Oh, I love that movie. It's all I ever think about with her.
Whatever happened to Brendan Fraser?
Oh, it's a circle.
Okay. It's all the people from that movie, man. Think about it. There's not a lot to really be said about Solar in terms of like how is he going to deal with this. I think that it really is. TY's been doing some pretty straightforward things. Granted, some of these pushes are a little bit early and aggressive, but he's not whipping out proxies. You know, he didn't proxy 2 racks this time around. He's not done anything too crazy. It's been even the one game where he was going to do something weird with the Banshees that actually got shut down by Solar. So like TY playing regular or mech, however you want to phrase that, is proven to be better for him through and through. So I like this. The Hellion's going to be going through to the high ground, a couple running to the low ground. Either way, it's just drone harassment that Solar's going to have to deal with. Big distractions out of the front. In fact, the Viking tried to clear away. There is some dead space, but Solar is onto him. He's something's up.
Yeah. So he's appropriately defending seemingly all areas. The Hellbats are about to transform. I am curious about this Lair and Roach Warren timing. He's tried end turns before, and on this map too. Maybe gonna do it again. No evolution chamber. Dealing with the run-bys. This is actually kind of concerning. If TY continues committing, and then these Roaches push this back, and then they attack, that third base is not very safe, and it's on location.
Really wants to go for broke though, so he goes into Hellbat mode to chase these queens down. He also goes to Hellbat mode, drops in the mineral line, hold position to target some of the drones, not shoot the queen. That's okay. But as you just pointed out, this game's gonna be a lot more about the Roaches and a lot less about the workers, I think.
anticipating the Cloak Banshee follow-up. It's really not that fast, though. So Overseer, a little premature.
Ooh, that's a change-up right there.
Higher, wow. You know, if he had just maxed on roaches or made as many roaches as possible, is a better way to say it, he could have come across the map and killed that third base. There would be nothing to stop it. TY is so lucky.
He is going mech, by the way. The extra factories do get plopped down. I think we all kind of knew this would be the case, but it is still confirming it. Still watching players like Gumiho, others willing to play the styles, but Hellions and Liberators and all these things for harassment, nothing actually got back here to see the Spire at any point. And my concern is when you do play mech, your anti-air is usually your weakest point early on. Later on, once you got a ton of Thors, you got a ton of Vikings, who cares?
The Crimson isn't gone.
I don't think this is enough to kill it.
He can't cancel it. He can't cancel it. So, hopefully it's not for TY's sake.
Why, is the cancel button broken, Zombie Grub?
Yes!
Or shouldn't he cancel it?
He can't.
Okay.
He just can't. He will die. He will actually implode.
This is like that button you press, like, you get $1 million, but someone random dies, but the twist is it's you.
You know, in a weird way, that was kind of the plot of Pushing Daisies, but it wasn't money. It was another life.
It's another good show. What happened to those guys, right? The not Zoe Deschanel girl.
Oh my god! I was gonna say Zoe Deschanel. And I was like, wait, that wasn't her.
Good old TV, where everyone is super unique and definitely not alike. Actually,
Who the hell was it?
I recently rewatched Elf. I forgot she used to be blonde. She looks so different with no bangs and blonde. But oh man, this is bad. Mutas come in. There's a couple of Vikings. There's not much here. GG. Thors were on the way, but that's going to take us to game 5 and the most unlikely. Right, the mute button. All right. Game 5, things tied up now 2-2. Ladies and gentlemen, one member of Splice will rise and the other shall fall. We'll see who joins stats in the round of 8. To the bottom right, we do have the red Zerg, none other than Solar.
In the top left is the blue Terran. He is TY.
Maybe it's for the best that TY loses this, actually. And I say this not because I hate TY or anything, but because, well, all the other round of 8 is Protoss so far. So maybe we're actually doing him some good by cutting him out here and now.
Before he just has to ram his head into the wall 8 times. That's true.
No, but jokes aside, I really don't know who's going to take it at this point, but either of these guys will be a very welcome addition to the likes of Impact. Oh, no, it's not too press. All right, it's Impact and Hero in that round of 8 so far. But there's a lot of other good players. Like I said, tomorrow's group's going to be absolutely fantastic, featuring Cure, Rogue, Keen, and Sue. There's no bad combination for this round of 8.
No. I do kind of want TY to win. I mean, Cure is another Terran favorite, so if he gets through, that's cool as well. But TY, the only thing better than TY at this point in time would be Maru, and Maru's not playing anything. Man, the GSL qualifiers are like in 2 weeks. Oh, 1 week after the patch. I wonder if we'll see a really drastic difference of TVP win rates in Korean tournaments, because IEM did not go so well.
I'll tell you what you won't see. A broadcast of the qualifiers 5 years running.
Ha! Nah, we'll never see that.
I really don't understand why they don't. There's so many people who go there and they're filming with their phones and stuff. Like, it's obviously not a secrecy thing. Like,
I don't know. I think the last time someone was seriously asked and gave a serious answer was that it just is too difficult to set up because it's a PC bong, which is a really, really big one. So they don't want to like bring all their studio equipment. I don't think TvZ Synergist wants to cast it, although don't quote me on that one. Yeah, I don't know.
Quote Zombie Grub, get in on Reddit, clip that out of context, guys.
Shit.
Tasteless, you heard it here. Tasteless and Artosis don't want to cast GSL.
Yeah. You could really clip that quite bad. But seriously, I think that there have been reasons given, but they're not the greatest reasons.
Wow, you hear that, guys? Tasteless and Artosis are not the greatest reasons.
The greatest reason to live is StarCraft, so I'll be fine with that one.
The greatest reason for anything.
And the reason
is you. All right. Down to business. TY looks like he's heading towards mech, but he's doing that Cyclone add-on to this again. So instead of bringing a lot of Marines, but this time he's going to have a lot of Marines. Like, we've seen some weird variations of the way the Hellbat pushes go early on. The Cyclone replacing the Marines entirely is an interesting take. Obviously wasn't that great, but this is a Cyclone paired up with the Hellions and paired up with Marines. My fear isn't that there's not enough damage for the Queens or to threaten a hatchery, but there might not be enough to wash off the Zerglings so quickly. That's the beauty of having all the extra Hellions.
Ooh, Overlord is denied. That's true. I mean, the Cyclone is, again, like a mystery unit. It's like, what comes out of the medevac? It's a Cyclone. But doesn't add very much. It's always up in the air. He's going to the third base.
It's a Liberator too, but this feels like, it's hard to call this a Terran all in, but if this doesn't do damage, if this gets deflected, I think Solar wins. Also, thank you, the Sly9, for that Prime sub. Oh, he needs to kill that Overlord if the Queens walk away from this, but that Queen's going to go down faster than the Transfuse is ready. Not going to give chase, might have a Transfuse ready and able to try and get this Queen instead.
Medevac's on hold position, so it's not even moving away from the damage. Getting into a nice position, however. Those Hellions, those Lings took a long time to wrap around. They are all dead now.
Yeah, this is the opposite of what I was predicting happening. Like, TY not doing enough damage and have to tap out. Solar instead can't defend this. The Spine Crawler's going to go down too. Despite that +2 natural armor, he does have a Ling attack on the other side of the map, but it's not getting the damage done. Now, it's worth noting, TY's the only one who's lost workers so far, but Solar has lost so much defending this, and the fact that this positioning is so sick, he might just be able to hold position for a little bit.
It is going to be cleaned up, but a loss of a lot more Lings, and this is the trade of SCVs killed to drones not made, which is maybe in favor of TY here. They're way too close in the worker count to be comfortable for the Zerg player, but it's very quickly going to change, so it puts the rest of his larva into droning, knowing that there's not going to be an immediate follow-up.
Oh, we can call it out in chat. Rifkin and Zombiga bashing Tasteless and Artosis. Yep, that's definitely what's happened here. He says with the implication of sarcasm, since apparently others cannot pick up on it.
It's okay. Not everyone can have a high IQ. Understand BaseTradeTV.
I can just read out the full Rick and Morty meme. Just like replace BaseTradeTV.
Anywho, continued mech production. I mean, TY apparently is just all mech versus Zerg. He's just like, F bio. It's useless. I don't know if Gumiho agrees with them, but that's what TY thinks, apparently. Double armory, 3rd CC. All that good jazz, and it is the lull time. Lulls are had.
I'm a lot less worried about what TY is doing, because we know what he does works. It's more about what Solar's doing, because Solar has been kind of throwing at himself in some of these situations, and that's kind of an annoying supply block there briefly. But yeah, whether he's going to leapfrog towards the faster gold, or if he's going to use this infestation pit for swarm hosts, or maybe he's going to go straight to hive. I really have not been a fan of Solar's swarm host usage, to be honest. And this falls less on him, and I think it's just the Korean scene in general has had way less impressive swarm hosts than our foreigner friends over in Europe. And I don't know what the root cause of that is. Like, it is so very, very different the way they use them.
I don't know what the cause of it would be either. It's not like foreigners have ever been so good with one unit that the Koreans haven't been able to mechanically adjust or strategically adjust. That is, you think of anything, and it's Koreans are the best at that. So I'm not sure why Swarmhouse is suddenly this weird question mark anomaly that exists for the past couple of years. But I agree. I think that Swarmhost did not look that great with Solar. They haven't looked that great with Koreans, and maybe it's less about how the Zergs use it more with the Terrans. No, I can't say that either. Yeah, I don't know. But he's not going for Swarmhost. Back into the Roach Hydra, Viper, but there's a push on the way. He's got to make Roaches right here, right now.
A big scan gonna help him clean up these creep tumors. Here's those Thors. Got some damage. They pack a punch. They're ready to shoot down the Overlords out of the sky too if he gets the opportunity, but as he pushes into this, the Roaches are actually having to deal with the Hellbats first, giving the Thors a lot of cover to do more damage. There's a small attempt at a counterattack, but Hellions are cleaning this up with good positioning.
I mean, I'm not sure that Terran players are ever suspecting or hoping that this push will kill the Zerg player, because it hardly ever does. The Zerg player has to be playing very greedy, take game-ending damage from that. But I wonder if just making them build that many roaches instead of more Hydras, instead of Swarm Hosts, instead of going up to Vipers, is kind of what's worth it.
Yeah, you're baiting them into units that tanks can deal with very easily. And I think that's where that really comes down to. But
yeah, I guess so. It is a little scary.
Well, we're so used to seeing people like Nurchio do these like 6.5-minute hives for fast Ultralisks. Solar's actually done this incredibly fast hive straight to Vipers. And I can get behind this idea. Whether it's blinding clouds on the tanks or if there's so few Thors in the area, you just abduct one at a time. I think this actually creates a really cool dynamic for Solar. And TY, unfortunately, is in that time where he's still picking up his production. He doesn't really have amazing tank production, Hellion production. In fact, a lot of this is just him not having money, not necessarily that he doesn't have factories.
Yeah, he has only recently hit his economic stride in production, finalizing. Of course, putting everything he can into upgrades is also rather expensive and will pay off in the long run. So he's only getting one more upgrade here, but temporarily a little weak. I'm gonna go for a drop just to keep the pressure up. Medevac scouting. I like this as long as the Hydras aren't here. And Solar is getting prepped for a push. TY should be at a pretty good supply by the time the Vipers are ready.
Blue Flame's not going to time out with this drop, but this can still do some damage if Solar's caught off guard. But he's left a couple of Overlords. He's got a couple of Zerglings here and there. He should see this coming one way or the other. That being said, TY can't afford to it's the medevac. He can't afford to dedicate too much attention to that drop because he does have a really big attack on the way. And this is, again, an attack that is going to have Vipers with it at the 10-minute mark that are full of energy.
TY has to be pre-split, but I'm not sure he's expecting the push. So the Tower Core reveals it as the units do, I suppose. Vipers are taken out, but only after setting down a couple of really great blinding clouds.
However, the tanks don't go down through this. The combination Sim City and the Thors hold the line pretty damn well. This one tank on the backside getting a lot of really good shots off, and this army out of Solar falls. 11 SCVs die, but honestly, this was a pretty good trade for TY.
It was a really great trade. The Hellion drop is now going to commence too. It's kind of perfectly timed. The Sim City, as you said, was just perfect. The blinding clouds were good. They just didn't end up killing the tank, so eventually disappeared, and Roach Hydra got demolished.
They like literally could not move into the tank range because of the factory's body blocking like that. Blue Flame finished up now. These drones have to be incredibly careful. These Hellions could roast up a line very quickly.
Now, this will be taken care of, but it is taking a lot of focus away from the front line. Solar was trying to deny the fourth base. Is not going to get the fourth base. Is not going to get this medevac. So a lot of drones going to go down to the third base. Oh, no.
That's 9 right off the bat. Going to go up to 11. And he's going to keep running, but... Okay, this was some pretty good damage.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And again, just distracting so much, pulling all of the roaches back. Solar had one pretty damn good push in him. The second push I don't think is going to be that strong. It doesn't have any Vipers. It has one Viper. Solar needs to make like 2 more at least.
You know, actually I'm now realizing the devastation of that first attack failing for Solar goes beyond the army just simply trading poorly. He rushed a hive to specifically get a lead at that timing. The fact that he got blocked by buildings for that is pretty bad. Thor's gonna pick off this Viper too. Second shot goes off, one more. Nope, not gonna quite get it. Almost.
Oh, but running into a couple of tanks. TY was distracted, yeah, but already sieged up some of them, so that ended up going really well for TY even after the fort died.
Blue Flame and landed Hellions.
Landed Vikings.
You know what? The Hellions are on the land too, so right on both counts, Zombie Grub.
Yep. That was a good deflection of 2 attacks, and Solar, I think he just wasted income, minerals, and gas more than he gained anything from that. TY continuing to expand, continuing to add on a lot of factories. It's looking good. Solar has not been able to punish TY in a long macro game match.
You know what? This concerns me because if we're going to rewind time, go back to the first best of 5 they played today, Solar had a lot of trouble taking advantage of any leads he got, much less playing from behind. You know, we didn't see a lot of expansions. We saw him getting stuck on 4 bases, not taking 5, 6, or 7 while he could have. And that's kind of the opportunity he had while TY was maxing out. He really could have started running away with the bases on the map. But both players have a decent-sized bank. Solar actually looking to be a little bit better off as far as the income trades go, but this is going to change a lot with the real attack coming, and all of TY's army's down here, and Solar's missing a lot of it to what is probably going to be a couple tanks and Hellions back at home.
He pre-pulls the SCVs. Like, 3 tanks will do a lot of damage to that, so...
If he gets
pretty
a wall
appropriate.
off, well, I forgot the idea of a wall for a moment. We did the attack. Looks like TY is actually churning around to deal with this, so he's coming home to take a fight. There's 4 Vipers. A lot of Blinding Cloud energy potential here. But where are those Vikings? He's got a lot of them. Those should be able to pick those off pretty easily.
Bit of an awkward scuffle, but eventually I think TY took advantage of the positioning. Tanks were sieged without Solar noticing, and then the Vikings almost got on top of those Vipers.
Super heckin' awkward there, because he did, of course, land one of the Vikings, but the other one still flew through the parasitic bomb, which stays in the sky. It still deals damage while it's sitting there. One more good parasitic bomb, and most of these Vikings might go down.
Yeah, he probably wants to repair those. Now that he's back at home, it's like the one opportunity to do so. He's not pulling the SCVs, however. Gold base is going to be denied. No, Solar. No, go back. Maybe just a wrong hotkey. The gold base is going to be denied. That is enough Hydras to even kill it. But a lot of drones going to go down.
Yeah, this base was a little saturated, so he's going to have no problem picking off the rest of this. Well, he actually gets responded to here, but there's that deny you're talking about. Planetary, not going to happen. Command center barely living through these repairs. There you go, falls apart.
Well, Solar's finally getting damage done from these multi-pronged attacks, and he's got an extra 2 bases, whereas before we've critiqued his lack of expansions.
I think one of the problems I'm looking at, though, is while he's looking to get to Broodlords and these Corruptors at a really nice timing, this is TY with that 3 and almost 3 armor, too. Thor should be no problem. We'll start seeing those Widowmine drops, hopefully.
Oh, no.
Actually, oh my
God.
God.
The Vipers died.
That was this... What? I was gonna say, though, that was this map. I totally forgot that that's the last time this happened with the Widowmine Dragon drops and stuff.
Yeah, we could see it again if TY thinks he needs it, but even though he just sent his Vikings over a couple of Hydras and lost about half of them, he still has the Thors in the ground. The Broodlords are not ready to go. 4 of them are on the way. TY is a bit safer back at home with his production. He's about to clean it up.
Yeah, Vikings just need to buy a couple shots for the tanks. Tanks will deal with this. Get rid of the Roaches, then Blue Flame Hellions can clean up the Hydras. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, that gold base is mined out, so it's not so bad to lose here for Solar, but he still can't afford to lose this army. Because while he might be coming out with 8 Broodlords on deck, he has to survive until they're actually out. That Quake Corpse went flying!
TY is not taking care of the top right base, however, and I don't know if he's going to be able to take out this one with the Broodlords already done. I don't think he will. So one kind of useless base being denied would not be worth it if the Broodlords, they come in and kill a lot of tanks.
The Hydra did went down through this too. He's rebuilding that. So the army being replaced is just going to be a pain in the ass no matter how we look at it. But TY is making the right move here. Sacrifice a couple of tanks to save the greater amount. A few for the many. And TY is going to retreat to the back where he's got Hellions and some Vikings. But yeah, his anti-air is still inadequate.
Yeah, he thought he had a lot more time to the Broodlords. I mean, he was being attacked consistently, so maybe he was thinking there wasn't enough of a bank. But there was, and now a ton of Broodlords, enough to actually end this game without more Thors on the ground. But where are the Corruptors? Well,
more to the point where the Hydras, because he lost the Hydra den, so he loses all of those on the front line to the Blue Flame Hellions. The Vikings have no problem clearing out the Broodlords, and TY, he's expanding behind this.
Yeah, enough Vikings with no anti-air. A little bit. Managed to push back those Broodlords. That was a really tough timing. If the Vikings were out of position, if they had flown over the Hydras once again, that was enough Broodlord to take out all of the ground army before those Thors popped out.
Oh, there's some really tough decisions to be made out of Solar, too. Like choosing to abduct versus Parasitic Bomb versus Blinding Cloud. Vipers are really good, but you have almost too many choices at this point. And combo that with the fact that there's still no sign of Infestors in Solar's playstyle at all anywhere. Like... Man, that army actually just consider those Vikings a fungal growth for the Vikings. You don't need to be borrowed for that. Just hold them in place. Parasitic Bomb. Boom.
Yeah. That's what I brought up when we initially talked about Infestors, is that, okay, maybe it's sneaky. It's too difficult to get up on top of, like, Hellbats or tanks or, sure, all that stuff. But usually those Vikings are really far out. You're able to grab them without endangering your Infestors. That Solar's not getting them. Still relying on this Roach Hydra Broodlord army. Well, something that TY dealt with last time on Odyssey, and has preparations to do the same kind of thing. He's got drilling claws, but no Widow Mines.
Right, he went for drilling claws. He's got the armor upgrades. He's made the preparations, but not the actual swap. Oh, this is tough though. Yeah, this is really bad for TY.
Okay, he sieges them, and I'm actually surprised that Solo didn't continue pushing, but maybe felt a little like weak without the Broodlords. There weren't that many tanks left, and on siege, that was all the Hydras.
He ate the full parasitic bomb on at least 2 of those Vikings, leaving them at 5 health. 17, 5, same difference. Point is, it's a lot of damage.
This isn't really... Drone damage isn't quite enough. Solar doesn't have a lot of reinforcements, so this could be a lot of damage, but that main army, he's gonna pull back. I guess not wanting to be distracted. That gives TY a lot of breathing room.
We have a landed... What the hell? Look at that one medevac. Look at the size of the landed Viking compared to the Hellbat.
So tiny.
He's like a little baby on the medevac. Do they still have no landing animation? No, they don't. They just pop out. Okay, well, hey, it's the best friend group once again. 2 Hellbats, a Viking, and a tank. Tries to get the base. Planetary here is not done yet. He's gonna have to mass repair it till it's finished.
I think he has to just lift it. I don't
it's
know
so close to
finishing. No, it doesn't repair anymore.
Feels bad.
Not worth. Not worth at all. You know, TY, the last time I see where it was able to get the bottom or the left 2 bases, maybe that was Ascension to Ire. Damn it, maps. Point is, he was able to get the other side of the map, and Solar was the one that was falling behind on expansions. This time it looks more appropriate with TY barely clinging on to 1 final base.
He's diving in deep for these highs just because Blue Flame is so good against them, but he's going a little bit far past his tanks. He needs those for backup. Meanwhile, the base that was not positioned correctly is out of position for the Hydras, I suppose. Gets on top of the SCVs, and 2 Thors coming back to try and clean it up. In fact, he's actually pulling everything back to deal with this. 2 Thor drops, though, should finish this hatchery, and that'll be nice.
Yeah, that does put them back to almost even mining. Solar is down to 1 healthy base, as is TY.
Actually, looking at the income, this is not so skewed when you consider the resources lost. Like, oh, Solar's had so much money over the last 10 minutes, how could he possibly be losing? Well, then we compared that to the resources lost, and TY's been playing pretty tight with his army. Little mistakes here and there, but topping units off with repairs, getting some good trades. Hellions, you know, just mineral-based units for Hydras, which cost gas.
Oh, that's going to be oversaturated.
I think the mark of desperation at TY will be when he stops trying to make planetaries and he's still just making orbitals. Like, he's floated this base over from the main, for example, right? Still hasn't repositioned it. I'm super triggered by this.
You know, I haven't thought about it in a while, but Odyssey having 3 gas geyser base, always forgotten about. Also just has more mineral patches down there. Interesting. Oh, Odyssey, I hope you leave next map season. And a big old push coming through here, transforming to Hellbats with the Smart Servos.
Really?
A decent amount of Thors, but is that enough?
I was going to try and focus fire, but that's so many Broodlords in the sky, 10 of them. Vikings aren't going to be dodging those parasitic bombs anymore. They got to stand their ground and fight. Hellbats are buying the Thors a lot of time by washing off the Broodlings, but it's 4 Thors to 8 Broodlords, and it doesn't look good for TY.
Oh, the friendly fire. He had to focus fire with those tanks if they were actually going to be effective, and unfortunately, Solar's army just ran away as soon as they saw him siege.
He's going to start that Widowmine production up now, so we're going to start seeing those. If you guys didn't see it the first time around, it's super hype how effective it seems to be against Broodlords, but at the same time, Solar seems to know how to respond to it, because when we saw this last time, he had Banelings prepped and ready.
I think Solar's winning this game. The biggest difference of this game compared to the other late game mech maps they played was that Solar was able to deny TY's mining. In every other game, he would have at least 1 other base full mining with gases, if not 2.
Yeah, he never got the gold. That's the worst part about this.
Yeah, and that would be him still almost maxed right here, right now. You know, equal supply even as he takes a bad engagement. Now it's him barely struggling to get above 150 again.
He's getting some good trades as a lot of these auto attacks go into the missile turrets. A little bit awkward there.
TY, I don't know if there's recovery time. He's trying to get to a base now, but at such a low supply, 50 armor supply down, I think Solo is just going to push to the production eventually and win that way.
I agree. This doesn't look good for TY, and I'm a little bit heartbroken because he's the Terran I want to see go through to the round of 8, but Solar is earning this victory. coming back from a bad deficit, got a good hold on the position of this game. It's not over yet. Not till the fat lady sings or TY taps out.
Oh, it's a lot of drones.
Ooh, it's gonna feel a little bit good.
Not as good as 24 SCVs killed.
Yeah, but the morale boost is what he needs right now, Zombie Grub.
Yeah. Well, that just draws the army over to defend and into a position to attack TY's very important gold base. Something that TY actually can't defend.
And I know people are giving Solar some shit for A moving, but his Viper control has been on point. GG.